Hello, my name is Joshua Jones. I'm a recent graduate from Prairie A&M University, and this is my project. My project is Cybersecurity Hardening of RCMD's Chemical Material Systems. Now, RCMD is the Recovered Chemical Material Directorate under the U.S. Army Chemical Material Activity. RCMD's main job is to find and destroy non-stockpile chemical material that they have found over the years that have been buried or abandoned over time. There are two systems that RCMD uses, which are the Explosive Destruction System and the Mobile Munition Assessment System. Both of these systems are used to recover chemical material and handle them properly. In 1993, the U.S. signed a treaty that banned stockpile and chemical use of warfare. My job comes into play of hardening these certain systems in their action of duty. So the Army is very reliant on programmable logic controllers, and these controllers control infrastructure in these handling systems. Now, the only downside of these logic controllers, they are very vulnerable and at risk of cyber attacks. So before presenting my solution, I wanted to be able to have a good understanding and information and insight on the Army regulations and standards. Regulations like AR 25-2, STIGs, and AR 25-1 are certain things that I have looked over, got accustomed to, and was able to implement a 4-phase implementation to solve these issues. Phase 1 being control implementation, and what it does is hardens the programmable logic controller. Next is documentation, which allows system architecture, configuration baseline, and a risk assessment report to be done on the system. With the third phase, we have assessment and authorization, which there's a security assessment that will be in place. There will be a vulnerability scanning and a penetration scanning. The penetration testing will allow there not to be any interference once we gain and send information out from the certain sites that we are locating these materials and sending them back to headquarters. Now, you may propose the question, why are there risks and what risks has happened, and can we get an example? So I'll give you an example. If there was material found in a place where there was no network, what the MMAS system has to do is connect to a certain network to set up, to communicate, to process, store, and transmit classified and unclassified information back to headquarters. And one thing that it is doing is when it is connecting to these certain networks, it's leaving itself vulnerable for risk and certain cyber attacks. Now, with this implementation, it will allow it to be able to ensure mission assurance, processing, storing, and transmitting of classified and unclassified data, CUI, in the proper way without risk and without vulnerability. 3 goals are the authority to operate, to make all systems compliant, and to address all PLC vulnerabilities in the field of action and testing.